Steve Evans, 5 games to go, third in the league. It looks quite nice at the moment.
Ooh. It's fantastic, isn't it? We said in here last Thursday it was fantastic to be looking forward to welcoming Johnny Jackson's Wimbledon, and it was competitive and it was hard fought. I think like every game we've seen around League Two on Saturday, you watching extended highlights of all of them. It was really tough to get points, and tomorrow night's no different. I think most of the teams, but not all, most of the teams are in action tomorrow night, and that'll bring another test. And we can only focus on us and a tough-looking game against Doncaster Rovers at the Lamex.
And the win on Saturday was really important, 3 points, because the performance was there and you got the result. Whereas we've had the performance in recent weeks, but not got the result.
Yeah, I think your performance, Alfie, in all honesty, was not what it was against Colchester or Northampton, or indeed up at Hartlepool. Our performances there were much better. We got a point in each, and I think again I said last Thursday that should have quite simply been 3 victories. It wasn't. And on Saturday, if you're a neutral, and there was some neutral people at the game who I've spoken to since, said there is no doubt that you deserve to win the game, but we didn't have the same fluency we've had in previous games. But we found a way to win. Everyone played a part, not more so than our players, because you know, as I told the players yesterday, you're not a hero sending the troops into battle. I'm not the hero. The hero are the players. The hero are the players who have to go and deliver the performances. And that's no difference to the big generals in the war. They come up with the strategy and the structure and they send their troops into battle. They're not the heroes. The guys on the battlefield are the heroes when they win. So that's what we need to be tomorrow night. But more importantly, go back to Saturday. Their supporters were massive for us, and they're going to be massive for us in the next 5 games. And we can only focus one at a time. So it's tomorrow night.
You could really see that on Saturday. It's quite evident that the supporters gave us that extra 5-10% to really push us to get us over the line, especially towards the end of the game where we were trying to.
Yeah, we needed it. The end of the game was a case of if you're 6'4" and above, you got on the pitch for Wimbledon in the launching into your box. But what we've got is we've got real men. We have heroes. We have Sweeney, Piergianni. We had Wilden on the pitch, Kane before it, Clark, Timmy and goal. Bozzy on the pitch. Big Danny Rose back defensively from set plays, heading big balls away. So from that point of view, we had that, and we're going to have big performances like that. But come back, the supporters were the seniors trying to counter-attack and kill the game off and get the third one, and they're right behind us, and they're probably thinking we should have done better in certain situations. But they were right behind us, and you can see what it meant to them. Everyone leaving the Lamex was in real good spirits, and that's not just the supporters, that was from the chairman down, all of us.
And at this stage of the season, with the group you created in the summer, you're now going to see the personalities of Michael Bossert, Piergianni, Dan Sweeney to be able to rely on and really galvanise the other players in the squad to get us over the line.
Yeah, listen, I hear the bum coming out of the manager speak about how many players have got missing that should play. Just look at what we had sitting behind me on Saturday. There's Luke Norris, Josh March, Listy. I could keep going. Terence. Do these boys play? The goalkeeper from the start of the season, who was absolutely stunning. Tays back was on Saturday watching the game, really in with the dressing room with the boys. So, of course they would. So we're missing some big players. But what we've got to the other ones? We're all heroes, they're all generals, they're all fighters. And so we're going to need these big performances. Each game that comes along could be and should be, maybe, will be different personnel. But we've always said we're a small group, we're a unique group. We could play any one of our squad. We don't have a favourite team, don't have a favourite player. They're all favourites, and we're going to need that not only tomorrow, but Mansfield and I could keep going, Swindon and Grimsby, and I could keep going.
But you can't really look forward to Mansfield yet because of tomorrow night.
Mansfield's it's a place north of Peterborough, isn't it? It's and Mansfield is a fantastic football club. I know how passionate the supporters are, but that'll take care of itself on Saturday. They've got a game somewhere in the country tomorrow night to think about. We've got our game to think about. Our only focus is Doncaster Rovers. They'll bring great challenges. It's only recently they're in front of Grimsby, who I've got a lot of respect for as a team. They're in front of Grimsby and winning comfortably. And on Saturday, they're 2-0 up away at Harrogate and looking like 3-4 And I've been spoken to people at Harrogate yesterday about that performance, and they're saying at one point it looks like 4, maybe 3-4-5-0. And suddenly Harrogate got a goal, and there's a belief, and that happens in football. So we just need to focus on the challenges that Doncaster Rovers will bring. We've got some issues from Saturday in terms of other additional knocks and niggles that might make the team have to change anyway, but we'll deal with that tomorrow.
And we saw you change the team up a bit. We saw Kane Smith start on Saturday. Are Luther and Kane Smith kind of battling for the same position? They're both fit, and it's kind of a good question mark to have over.
Listen, Kane was in the team and doing very well. I think we had back-to-back home games because he'd been out a lot well injured. We brought Luther in to give us a bit of freshness. He stayed in for a couple, and we were bringing Kane back into the team. He took a knock. He went missing for 10 days to 2 weeks, and then he come in on Saturday. I thought he was excellent on Saturday. I think the plan was looking at his game time, looking at the medical staff behind me, advised me saying, "We're now at the risk situation of maybe recurring the injury." That's why we made the change. Jake Reeves exactly the same. Reeves, he missed a couple of weeks. Again, the plan was to get to a certain amount of minutes. The medicals team reminds you every 5 minutes that we're now in the risk zone. As soon as we went into the risk zone, it became very easy then to make informed decisions, and that's what we did. So there's different strengths that Luther has to Kane and vice versa, and they compete very well.
And just finally, we've got a really good record Tuesday night under lights at Lamex this season, and it's got potential to be quite a magical night tomorrow night.
Well, it's got potential for us to get 3 more points off, or at least one. You know, what we hear about this time of the season is accumulating points, and it's I think everyone knows the tightness of the table. I think I predicted 3 months ago that Leyton Orient would be the runaway champions and league leaders, and I think they'll become promoted tomorrow night, and then they'll fight to be outright champions. I think behind that you've got 7-8 teams that can fill the automatics with grace and fill the players with grace. But we've an opportunity to look after ourselves. We can't affect another result in the country. We can affect through our own performances what we do against Doncaster. I said before the weekend that if we could get back-to-back wins over the next 2, it would be massive strides in what it would do to the table. And it's a magical place if you're in a football club fighting for a chance to be promoted or to be in the Players in League 2 for a football club that the 5 previous seasons has been fighting relegation, or once been relegated and then back in because of the issues at Macclesfield. And so from that point of view, I said it before, and I know the Football League programme said something different, but we are the one club in the EFL who's overachieving to anyone else in the whole of the EFL compared to what was expected of us. But every season there's normally one. There's one club. I can remember when Morecambe got promoted to League One and everyone went, wow, what a job Derek did, and then he went off to Bradford and he's back there now. But there's always a team that outperforms everything that was predicted at the start of the season, and we still can be that team. But we have a lot of big performance to produce before that we can even start to remotely think about that, because listen, with 4 or 5 games to go, football tables turn upside down quickly.
It's great. Thank you, Gaffer.
Thank you.